Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. Good morning. I'm feeling good today. How are you feeling? Put it in the comments. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? I'm a 10, regardless
I'm a 10. I'm going to start at the top, even if I have to fake it till I make it. Can I get an amen? That's right. That's the bell of purpose. I'll tell you about that in a second. But it's Friday, right? T to the G to the I to the F. Oh, I'm so excited. And, well, I do have a few things I have to do over the weekend, but not like last weekend. Good googly moogly. We had that garage sale. So guess what I have to do tomorrow? All the shit that was left over. I called a place to come pick it up to donate it. You know they're going to pick all the good stuff and give it to the auntie and stuff and grandma and all that. Then they're going to take all the clothes and stuff to Plato's Closet. I already know, right? I know people in that business. So anyway, they wanted $250 to come pick up what'll take me probably 3 trips to the Goodwill. But anyway, I decided to do it myself. So I went yesterday and bought a whole bunch of boxes. And because it was like we only made, we made more than we had, and we got rid of a lot of treasures. Yeah, that's it, treasures. Almost said junk. Somebody might be watching that bought something. So you sold me some junk, huh? Right. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, and that's pretty much it. And I'm glad. Wanted to remind you guys right now, currently, there is a great episode out. Go License for Love, the podcast that I do. There it is on the screen. The heartbeat and relationship conversation with my good friend and co-host, Cowboy Jax Young out of Nashville. We have a great episode airing right now on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, wherever you get your podcast information. So please go over, follow us on Facebook at License for Love on Facebook. And I think all the episodes are great. But this one, it's a humdinger. Trust me. I told you I'd tell you about the Bell of Purpose, and I will. It is not just a clever gimmick. It's not a prop, if you will. It's a reminder. Actually, it's an opportunity, because just like the bell, which has a ring, well, so does the truth. And when you hear the truth, when we hear the truth, when we share the truth, when we are the truth, wonderful magic happens within that circle known as truth. So purpose is in the town today, is in the house. Why did I say the town? Was that a senior moment? Oh no, I should keep a log for those things, but then I'd probably forget where I put the log. See, just lost. So I wanted to say, please welcome to the show. Before I get my guest Jason in here, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's my Ed McMahon. She's always here. Hi, how are you? We're sipping on frosted cinnamon buns, right? Now I was like, what am I going to have for breakfast today? Should I have a shake? Should I stop and get a frosted cinnamon bun? And all that stuff just seems so blah. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, Jason's here today. And my mind went, and instantly I was compelled to get a banana. I don't know why. But anyway, that's my choice and I'm sticking to it. So you guys know who's here, the Bald Avenger, King of the Misfit Nations. And I could go on, but trying to keep it clean. Anyway, it's Jason, and that's all I need to say. That needs to be the name of his show. Just Jason, right? Because that's what you get. Just Jason. No creamy fill. Well, wait a minute. I was good. That was a Twinkie I was describing. Sorry. What is wrong with me? Okay, get out of my head. But exercise. Somebody that's Sharon McQueen, send some Reiki. ASAP. Put it on the fast track. Because something's going on. I need some healing, y'all. Why did I just hear Marvin Gaye start playing? Get up, get up, get up. See what I'm saying? I got a one-track mind today. I don't know what it is. Remove thy spell from me, Jason Sisneros. But seriously, Jason is one of the most intriguing people I know that I've ever met. Simply because he's so real and just so Jason. How do you know? You're going to find out because I'm going to bring him in. He's been here a few times, so we don't have to coddle him, if you will. But I want you guys to put your hearts into this conversation and pour into us as we, Jason and I, attempt to pour into you. Here we are fulfilling that promise again, where 2 or more of us comes together. Oh, it doesn't say we might have something great happen. It guarantees it. And today's no different. So here he comes, the King of the Misfit Nation. What's that thing he says about a legend in his own mind? Here it comes. What's the dealio?
How you doing?
Good.
Wait, I gotta introduce the show. And thank you, folks. That's all the time we have after the 1 hour Lauren Michaels Harris promo intros. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because that's real estate. You see, that's real estate. And I'm in between.
And they're getting better over time, brother. They're getting better. Like I really enjoy them.
See, let me just say something to y'all. I should pop him out so I can have a whole screen. Those of you who love Jesus, you'll understand. So, anyway,
and it's also good that you got in your pet name for Brian, Frosted Cinnamon Buns.
Oh, guess where he's at right now?
Where's he at?
He was going to the gas chamber this morning. First of all,
yeah,
6:30, which is like
he's going to the dentist. Then he's going to the dentist.
That's tomorrow.
Okay.
Today he's starting with a trainer, a nutritionist, and all those people, a whole team. Wait, it's such a big deal. He had to go through his insurance for it. So so he's gone off to that. And I felt like I was dropping off a kindergartner at school when I was in the driveway going, because he was like, so anyway, that's where he's at. He sends his love. How's Emily?
She's doing great. Also, just signed up with a trainer.
She did.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know why.
Yeah.
So she can start looking for that dress.
That's it.
Do people know about that?
Yeah. I mean, I posted on Facebook. So
I thought we were special. So
we're just trying to figure out like where to drop in, when are we going to get married? That's the, the question now. And there's some extenuating circumstances. Like we're thinking about May, but Joe and Ashley. So Joe is a very, very close friend of mine. And, we're going to make sure that we're at their wedding. And they're thinking about getting married in May. So we're juggling a few things. Yeah. Joe and Ashley, he proposed. He was he proposed a while back, actually. Joe Callow. Big hand.
Joe Callow?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, I never thought he'd jump the broom again.
Oh, Ashley is amazing. Ashley's amazing.
Callow, AKA Big Hands.
Big hands.
Big ass hand. See, what is see? Lord, help me, y'all. So I mentioned I see something here. You used to be that kind of workout look, that like a power lifter. I noticed that you're more defined now. Was that to lock down the proposal, or you just said,
bro, when you got a face like this, you got to do everything you can to gild the lily. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not just about your face. And I'm just going to say, because I've been married 5 years, together 7. And I'll tell you this, be careful, especially no matter how desperate you get in the gym, just don't take any hormones. Because I heard one of the side effects, your marriage will start off like this.
Yeah.
All the romance and stuff. In just a few weeks, it's going to look like that. So
no, we've been together. Her and I've been together over 5 years.
I know.
That's a crazy number for me to even say out loud. And I just feel really, really blessed. And, I got lucky. Like she is one of a kind, one in a bazillion.
Lucky.
Yeah.
That's when, if you would have won her on a scratch ticket.
That's kind of how I feel.
Or in a round.
No. I mean, we met at a Tony Robbins event, and
you were blessed.
Yeah, definitely blessed, because we met in the oddest situation. Like you remember we took Tony Robbins on a rescue undercover to go get some kids, and so he was doing a big event out in LA. And I'll show you the picture here in a second if you want me to. Very few. Oh, damn it. It's okay. This thing. It's okay. Don't worry, I got this.
Oh, he's looking for stuff. Okay. Now, while he's doing that, let me tell you what's
going on.
That's that big, brand new old studio he's in, and I love it. But I got to ask you something, and it's not even in line with where my mind's been going all morning. But I do notice, or is it just my screen? It looks like your name is actually throbbing.
I mean, hello. It has to match my personality. And how else do you describe my personality?
You ever met a guy named Jason? Says, no, what's he like? Well, let's just say one word, throbbing. No, No, that would be Ron Jeremy.
Whatever, you know, same.
Lately,
What's that?
have you seen him lately?
I haven't. Not a topic of interest, you
I
know.
know. Really? Where did that come from? Random
No
thought.
idea.
We have a lot of ground to cover. Oh, there's a lot of people here. You always draw a lot. You're like
Who's
flies.
out there? Oh, I see Jeanette.
Oh yeah, you know she gonna be here.
I
Jason,
love her.
Christopher, of
Christopher
course.
Kaysen, yeah.
Mhm,
Robert Brooker. Nice. Good to
Nobody else
see
is
the
talking.
crew.
They're watching.
y'all?
I see them. They're just not. Oh, they're probably all over. Well, put it in. Who's here? Don't be scared. Come on. You're amongst friends. So first thing I wanted to do was thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I wanted to show. I'm looking to see if that's what I thought it was. Oh Lord, did I just mess that up? Okay, I'll redo that. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to show that. I'm going to show this. Well, let's talk about this. First of all, tell everybody what you've
Hey,
been.
first, before we get started, brother, I just want to say congratulations from all of us that follow you and watch what you're doing. Your life is crazy, brother, and I'm really, really proud of you. You know, it's Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris. You know, you're on an episodic. What did they call it? I was looking at it last
Oh
night.
yeah,
An episodic series. Yeah, episodic series. Yeah, on the cover, you know, looking like Captain America. But we're all really proud of you, brother. Really proud of you.
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Of course, and I couldn't have done it with all of you, but in particular, I always sing your praises because, man, talk about a guardrail. Jason is really, you've served as a guardrail many times when my spiritual vehicle was headed right off the cliff. And so, yeah, good times.
And I wanted to throw you off that cliff a couple times. Just, I mean, if we're keeping it real.
I remember you pulled a Suge Knight on me once and had me dangling. I remember that. Yes, I do. And I've dangled. Oh, Lord. See, I can't. Sir, listen, I need an off,
a mute button. You need to give your guest. You need to give your guest a mute button, so you can just go boom. He's in, going down his path.
Well, I'm trying to do better. I actually have a list of words I should not say on the air anymore. These three in particular: succulent, juicy, and moist. And so,
especially moist. It's such a gross word.
I know. Brian hates it. He gags. I got him a T-shirt that says, "Why? Please do not say the word moist in front of me." Right. So, yeah. So, listen. What things move? You talk about me. Your life is like the shell game. You got to watch the ball to see which one it's under. So, what is the number one thing? Because they got to come in some kind of order, I would think. What's the number one thing you're working on today that, what leads your day?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, there's a word that we talk about a lot. And the word is interconnectedness, right? And I've learned throughout my career, my life, that if you're working on things that your outcome, your long-term outcome, you're super pumped about, then it's best to have things that are interconnected. And, we're building I'll tell you where the basis comes from is really this concept of freedom, right? And having choice. We talk a lot about, I heard this phrase one time from Pastor Rudy that said, a slave cannot free another slave. And it really set me back for about a week, maybe even 2 weeks, just thinking about that phrase over and over and over again, thinking about like what you talk about and what you help your people with that hire you as a coach, is that freedom, there's so many ways that we're enslaved. And one of those ways of being enslaved is we have mental, we think bad things about ourselves, or we carry around our past that's not happening to us anymore. Financial slavery, relationship slavery, all of these kind of things. And, and as I've really thought since I sold my companies back in 2019, I've been really thinking, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And it comes down to being a freedom fighter. And you were raised, the reason why you can do the things that you do, the reason why I can do the things that I do, regardless of our background, our skin color, our sexual preferences, all of those things, the reason why we can do it is because we have this thing called freedom, the ability to be able to, with freedom of opportunity, not freedom of result, right? And that's the difference between, I think, a lot of the world today and what actually works. And understanding that if we can keep that opportunity out there for people, the people that want to work, that want to overcome their weaknesses, that want to free themselves from their past bondage of whatever's holding them back, then what our job is to do is to become the people that bring the opportunity and set it on the table for people, right? And as I thought about that, when I sold those, obviously I directly free slaves, in the sex trade, work with domestic violence. We feed people from being free of the slavery of hunger. And then, my ability to be able to fix companies with, Anton J, which is my consulting company. And what I started to see over the last couple of years was, there's this alliance between unethical capitalists, right? Like the Amazons and the Facebooks and these different, and what makes them unethical? They have bonded with,
hold that unethical bonding. A call coming in. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Aaron. Oh, I forgot right away. That was the network. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. It does not reflect the concepts of Jason. We should start every show like that, by the way.
Trying to keep my job.
Right. So there's the unethical capitalists, and they're bonded with an unethical government, right? We're just not properly represented. That's all I'm going to say.
Two words don't even go together.
But they're bonded. This is the unholy alliance right now. If they're the people in the government, like, you fund me, you give me money, you tell me when the stocks are going to go, and I'll make sure that I pass laws that tamper down competition, right? And competition is what creates innovation. People forget that, right? So I'm talking about small to mid-sized companies, people that really make a difference, what our country is actually, the backbone is actually built on. And so, we created a course which now has been accredited. I'm building a way to level the field on e-commerce, so that anybody can start with a little bit of money, with very low amount of money, and compete against the Amazons of the world, and keep the data, not have them, we're not going to steal your business like Amazon does, those kinds of things. So I'm constantly creating. You say, what wakes me up, what kind of is the first thing that I think about? How can I really facilitate someone's freedom today? And that means every conversation, there's ability to free them spiritually, free them mentally, to free them financially, it's just carrying around a toolbox of being able to serve, because that's where joy is, not in selfish pursuit.
Okay. Well,
no ding, no bell. Come on.
You're lucky you didn't get the Jeopardy music. So talk about me playing.
Get the hook. Get the hook.
Lord, I wrote down on the paper rally. I felt like I'm at a Patriot rally.
That's right.
I wish we were alone. I have so many jokes. I've got to remind me to tell you the fiddle joke. So
there's plenty of them. All we gotta do is show our text stream, and everybody would love the jokes that you tell.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. So I want to go someplace a little different real quick, because let's mix it up today if we could. So most of us know the backstory of little Jason, and a lot of the stuff that you went through, but there may be people who don't. We recently were talking about the importance of reconnecting, because you did, and you said interconnectedness, and you just made the limit. There's a 6-syllable limit on this show about words, because I can't pronounce that. So
I'm not even sure it's a word. I'm not even sure it's in the dictionary.
Sure it is. It flows nicely, and it splits in all the right places, but it is up to the show limit. So first warning. Okay. So, but a lot of people, that connectedness where, our origin story is way back there at the beginning, of course, that's why it's an origin story, but the childhood trauma stuff, how we go back and unpack it, and this and the other. And I remember, you probably do too, the other day I was telling you that I had a download about you where I was told to tell you point blank that much of the world you live in today, you literally manifested it every time your nose was broken. And it made me hear, not exact words, but I was allowed to know that it was the kind of thing where you say, you see, one day I'm gonna, and then fill in the blank. That's as far as I got with it. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but I want people to hear something different today that they may have never even considered as far as you and your story. So can you talk about that a little bit and what you're thinking it means inside of where you're at today?
Sure. And it's a powerful conversation that continues with us, because there's always nuances and distinctions. And, as after you talked to actually Emily and I started really thinking deeply about, going backwards in time, which I've done before. I mean, I've actually taken that path and taken that trip, but not in the way that you couched it, right? Not in the way that you sort of positioned it.
Yeah.
And, and I look back and those are the things, I mean, cause we were a very poor family, very poor. And my mom, we would stand in line for the government cheese and then that powdered milk and watch the embarrassment on her face with, when she was using actual food stamps. And it wasn't because she was lazy. It was because, the adopted father situation and she would have broken hands and she suffered more than I did. My suffering really came in the protection of her and stepping into those situations. But going back, before I learned the ability to be able to really use everything that's ever happened to you as a positive, it was an anger that, when I grow up, my kids aren't going to experience this. And I remember, I mean, I would be in my bedroom and, my grandma always made sure I had a Bible and my nose would be busted up because I couldn't go out in public. It was obvious what was going on at home. And it was a lot of alone time.
I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah. And it was and you would laugh because in between the things that he was doing, he would have jobs like he would work at a child, a troubled youth camp. You know what I mean? Like you can't make the shit up that happened in my early life and where he was, and I'll never forget one day and then I'll finish this out. But one day I was coming back and I'd just lost a wrestling match and I knew what that meant. I knew what that meant. I was going to get the shit beat out of me because I'd lost. And I was walking in the house and one of the guys at the boys ranch that he was working at just pulled in and I'm like, oh, well, at least it's going to wait because he wouldn't do anything in front of, his coworker. So they had this split level house where you come in on the landing and go downstairs or you go upstairs. And so I went upstairs. He was standing at the top and of the stairs and he hit me right as I got to the top. And I flew back and literally landed on my head on that doorstop. And his friend came, the guy that he worked with walked up as I landed, and he still kept his job, right? Still kept his job. So, it's crazy things like that, that happened. And in this exercise that I've been doing recently, it's like, well, what was all that anger, right? What was it? It was exactly what you said, what you just, worded, which was, I'm going to show everybody, cause I got picked on by the rich kids. We moved into a town that was all Hispanic. I was, one of 3 white families, got picked on and beat up there. We were always, what's that?
White. You're white.
Well, now I know what I am, which is
bye. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. The least popular, skin color these days, by the way.
Wouldn't that be funny though? If what happens to me would happen to you, like I'll be around my white friends and they'll say some kind of black joke, kind of.
Right.
And then they always look at me and go, well, we don't mean you.
Right.
So what if that happened to you in reverse?
Oh, well, I can tell you lots of times that's happened.
I was going to say, I bet it has because I have white friends and I'd be like, I use the N-word on them. Because I talk to my nephews. It's just a term of endearment for some of us. But anyway.
No, I'll tell you a real story because I love going to, like Black Baptist churches.
Yeah.
It's so much fun for me. Absolutely love it. And
As long as you want to go home at 4.
I ended up going to one in Compton, and literally the only white guy probably within, I don't know, 10 miles of this place. But I go in and it was a guy that I'd met at the gym, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come to church?" and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "Sure." Gave me the address. It didn't dawn on me until I was actually driving in, into the church where the hell I was. I'm like, "Oh, cool. It's going to be an absolutely great experience." So I go in, and man, the place is rocking and everybody welcomes me. And like always, like it was awesome. And then the preacher gets up and starts preaching about the devil white man. And he kept looking while he was preaching, he kept looking over at me, "But not you," and he would,
you.
Yeah, you're cool, but everybody else, they're all devils.
Oh, that's so funny. So you're saying even my mama I'd have been on. Oh wow, were you turning red?
No,
like, everybody was looking at you every time you said it.
I'm so used to it because, again, like for me, when I would go to these churches, and it was kind of before I was pissed at the church and all, because that's the black church that I experienced and have experienced across the country is really about what it's supposed to be about. If somebody's in trouble in the church, they step up. You know what I mean? They cook meals for them. They take care of them. And the churches that I went to when I got pissed at the church was, a very wealthy area. And, and I'd lost my business and I was struggling the most that I had ever had in my life. And everybody looked down on me. Now I'm a piece of shit. But before, when I was making all kinds of money and donating to the church and doing all that kind of stuff, it was, it was always home to me when I would go to, and still do to this day, go to a black church that is really rooted in the spirit. And, it just kind of speaks to me and to how I like to move.
I get it. Listen, when I want you to think about something, while we go on a short break so we can hit it when we come back, because we want to get into your course. There's a lot to talk about that's happening inside of there. I've been inside of the actual course, and we're going to talk about why you should at least take a look at it, if not for yourself, for someone you know and love that is trying to get there in business, pretty much. But I want you to think about this. What does the term haters mean to you? Since one of your monikers I've heard around a few dining room tables, shit starter. I'm just kidding. But disruptor, it goes on and on. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I want you to talk about that term and what it means to you. And then this is the deeper one, but you got some time. Misfit Nation, I'm a part of it. Most of us here are, but when we first started coming together, tribe was a positive. It's starting to change. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on what Misfit Nation has evolved into in order to not be what it shouldn't be. So we're going to talk about that and more when we come back with Jason Sisneros. Don't go away. Great time to share out the broadcast. Okay, welcome back. I was thinking about something. Weekly Dose of Dano. Don't miss it. It's a great show every Thursday evening right here on the E360 network, or you can go to Weekly Dose of Dano TV on Facebook. Check it out. And before we get Jason in here, I'm sure he's a pal of this. V8, you hear me say it all the time. I let go of the Diet Coke. I wanted to make a small change, hopefully to create a big shift. And it happened because now instead of reaching for what doesn't serve me, I reach for this. Why? Because it has 60 calories. How good is that? Also, 2.5 servings, used to be only 2.5 servings of vegetables in every can. Easy peasy to find. Head down the juice aisle at your local grocer, and you will be in the team of people who say, I'm glad I had my V8. Okay, here he comes. Welcome back, Jason. Welcome back. So which thing do you want to tackle first? Haters, or what is the Misfit Nation today?
You know, it's interesting. Are you following the Brittany Griner?
I
Yeah.
I watched it this morning too in the gym. It was up on the big screen. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's an interesting subject, and it's complicated, right? I mean, and this is kind of one of those things when you said the word hater, that story that I've been following kind of popped into my head, because you have the normal split, right? You have Republicans and you have Democrats, and it's not really that split anymore. But for the purposes of what we're talking about, it's you have people that are like, well, she hated America, she took a knee, she did all this kind of stuff. So, and then she also broke, another country's law, and, blah, 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 blah. And then on the other side, it's like, this is somebody because she's Black, she's a woman, and she's gay. And so you look on the other side of that, and you have people that are in it like for those reasons, on the far left and then the far right. And I look at it a little differently, because it's nuanced, and I just wish that this country, because what really built it to the way that it is right now is being able to have two conflicting ideas come together for the purpose of creating a better outcome for the people. True. Right? And it's changed. It's definitely not that right now, and that's why I think you see all of this new blood coming into the in these elections. I mean, incumbents are getting wiped out left and right. So anyway, so when I look at her situation, it is nuanced. Yes, she did break another country's laws, okay, but she's being used as a political ploy, right? She's being used by Russia as to leverage America for us to trade, killers and bombers and, and all these other kind of things. Here's where I fall on this. I don't care what she said. I don't care if she kneeled. I don't care if she said she hates America. I don't care. She's American.
Right.
She's American. She's one of ours. Like, and there's a duty to our people worldwide. Right. And it doesn't matter if it was a white, a Hispanic, an Asian, a black person. So it doesn't matter, that she's an American. And okay, if you have to pay a penalty, like if I put myself in that role, if I went over there and I broke a law and there's a penalty, it's not a 9-year thing. It's that, weed, which she got busted for, is legal in a huge amount of America.
It was medicinal. It was prescribed.
But it's illegal in that country, right? And so you either you go through the proper things and you get approved, or you don't take it. So, but let's say that I did that. I would expect to pay the penalty of the country that I was in, right? And have to pay the price regardless of who I am. And that's the fair thing. And the way I look at it is, on one side, if we're going to get every American out from these kinds of situations and being used as leverage around the world, and we're going to get every one of them out, then by God, let's get every one of them out. And there is no exceptions. I don't care what you look like, what you believe in, what you said. You're an American, you're coming home. Other side of this is, yeah, dadgummit. And on the other side of that is that if we're not, because what it does is it does weaken American security, because if they think that they can negotiate and get things from America, you're not going to be safe in any of these countries anymore.
Okay, so what about this? The first thing I thought of, okay, it was cannabis oil. So they clearly saw that fluid when it went through the TSA check.
Mm-hmm.
They see everything. They scan your ticket when you come in. They know where you're going. Why can't they just implement something in that scanning system, knowing you're going to this country, and say, what is this in your, or do you have any? We see you're headed to Russia. Yeah, if you have anything like blah, blah, the list isn't going to be this long.
Right.
Why couldn't it, or spit a print out or something? If you have any of this, you might want to take it out, or we'll see you in 10 years. So, I mean,
it's an adversarial country.
You said security.
Yeah.
You said security. So I'm saying, does security for the country always have to fall from out there? You know what I'm saying? Because she's already there. But can't we make it more secure? Don't we have an obligation to make it more secure from this side for people to that was, to me, that part, I could see myself doing some stupid shit like that.
You forget, right? You take something that you're doing here as a medication and it's banned, but you're going to a country that we are in an obvious adversarial relationship with right now because of Ukraine.
True.
So you want to
in the first place.
Yeah, you want to take extra precautions. And, and the other thing about this that it says about our society is that, again, a Black lesbian woman is highly valued to the U.S. government. Right. It speaks against all of this racism and all of the stuff that people want to split and divide us. This country she is being used as leverage. Why? Because Russia knows that the people that are going to get the most angry they're going to look at those attributes and raise it raises, like, if it was just a white guy, blah, 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 it's not as much value as it to the U.S. government as a Black woman lesbian, right? So that speaks to the giant leap that we've made as a country to be an accepting country, to say not only do we not judge you differently, we've now elevated those traits and those things to be something that a foreign government would use against us. Okay, she is highly valued and highly treasured to our government. Now, if that happens, here's what the not unintended consequences. So if we capitulate and we give them everything that they want, now anybody that's Black, lesbian, gay, of a man or woman, is going to be targeted when you're outside of the United States to be abducted.
Hey, stop! You scare me. We're going to Romania.
Right.
Well, I thought
friendly country. Yeah. Friendly country, so it's a place that is not like Russia, unless they get invaded by Russia. But at the end of the day, you see what I'm saying? There's consequences.
Remember, he said that, and I ain't kidding. If they should, because I probably have a couple gummy stuff somewhere in my suitcase that I forgot about. I'm just keeping it real. So you have to stage a rescue. Promise, and come get me.
Well, one of your best friends happens to be really good at extractions, so you're not going to be there long.
Okay, but should I be? But wait a minute. So, okay, for real, because if I'd have heard this from some, just listening on NPR or whatever, my heart would start pounding and I might turn down the gig. Yeah. So what should we as Americans do because we have a responsibility to know this shit. Yeah. So
this is why I said in the very beginning, it's complicated, and most issues that need to have intellect applied rather than emotion are complex. What do? I want her home. You know what I mean? That's our family.
As soon as you look up on the screen or you hear it, don't you just feel something like that's wrong?
Yeah, it's wrong. And people try to justify it that she kneeled that's what makes America great, is the ability for her to kneel and for us to argue and for us to have the conversation about why she's kneeling. But by God, that's what America stands for. It's freedom of damn speech.
Okay, wait. Also, another good question, I think. How come, because I didn't hear about him, the other guy, because it's 2 for 1. So how come we're just now hearing about him because they got her?
It happens that he, again, is not of as high value. Why? Because he's just a white dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, the value isn't of, they know how to play these games, and they use our strengths, our compassion, our values against us. That's what the enemy always does. Right?
Yeah.
And so what do you do? Again, I think that there's a conversation that needs to be had about what you do. I believe that if you're in an adversarial country, that we basically are we're in a proxy war, whatever anybody wants to think. We're in a proxy war with through Ukraine into Russia. And I think that if we're going to go get our people, then you burn down, it's scorched earth, you go get our people, right?
Jason, do you think it would work? You know how they use colors? Red means this, yellow means that. It's a condition. Why couldn't a traveler go to a site where you can see wherever you're going in the world and it's color coded? You can go to, I think it's travel.gov actually, where you can go and see. They tell you,
hey, there's an uprising. When I was in Ghana, right, there was a warning on Ghana to say, hey, you're taking a risk, right? When you go into the DRC, when I went into the DRC, hey, there's a warning. Like when you walk in there, just because of how you look, you are going to be an immediate target for abduction. There are warnings out there for people, and then just follow the rules. Now, it's already happened, and again, whatever penalty she has to pay, she's paying that. Like, she is stuck in a Russian, jail. Mm-hmm. That's got to be scary as hell. Number one, and maybe it's 6 months or whatever but this is 9 years of this woman's life.
It's not like she's got a TV, and go over to the microwave and cook up and all that stuff. Yeah. No, she's probably, who knows? But let's all just pray about that, because wishing ain't gonna get shit done. But we can pray about it and talk about it. And because I want to switch gears here real quick and talk to you about this program, because some really big things are happening. I don't know how much you can divulge, but we're talking about the growth course, G-Spot. Tell her. Well, I want to show. Let me just do this real quick. I want to show people. How do I get back to you? Oh Lord, this is that weird kind of thing. Wait a minute. I'm coming back over here for a second. I think I'm gonna have to do it like this. Talk about it while I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, I mean, the impetus of it was, my team really pushing hard to say, because, Anton J Consulting is a company that helps. It costs a lot of money to bring us in to actually either save a company, take it to the next level, do a merger, prep them for sale, these kinds of things. It's a fairly expensive deal, but it was built on the fact that I was able to. You going to play this?
When you're done with your thought, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So at the end of the day, it was just a compilation of my entire life of learning about business, and we turned it into a program. And it was so wildly popular that we then brought in some professionals to say, the first time we filmed it, it was like, all right, we'll see how it does, right? And it was 2-hour sessions. It was really heavy, great content. But I was filming with stuff that was sagging behind me. The audio sucked. Like, it was, so we refilmed it over the course of a year with total professionals, and turned it into something that could be used forever, because it's foundational hacking, right? Company growth hacking strategies that worked for me to be able to create the exit that I made back in 2019. Okay. And so now it's taken on a life of its own. We'll talk about that when you show this.
Okay. Well, let's take a look, and then we're going to come back to you, and you can tell us who this is actually for. We'll be right.
Congratulations. You signed up for one of the most powerful business courses you're ever going to see. How do I know? Because I built it. After years and years and years of going to seminars and spending almost $1 million on training myself, I took the years of making mistakes and learning from the best in the business, and I put it together in this process. I'm so excited for the journey that you're going to go on. And here's a couple of pointers for you to look out for. This is not easy work. This is not one of those, here's a great idea, maybe it's fluffy, whatever it is. This is actual strategy for you to start employing in your business. One of the things you got to start out with is the commitment to go all the way through this, session by session by session. You're going to get them sent to you one session at a time. We did that for a reason, so that you could absorb it and implement it in your own company week by week by week. There's very specific instructions on what to do week to week. you can always reach out to us. There's an 800 number that'll be at the bottom of every session so that you can reach out to us if you have any questions along the way. We're in this with you. You're not doing this alone. You have an entire team at Anton J Global here to support you so that you finish this and then implement it into your own company so that you start making a difference to your bottom line, to the amount of time you have available to you, to the control back in your own life, and ultimately that freedom of decision. Not freedom from hard work, but that freedom of decision that you've been looking for your entire life. I'm proud of this product. I'm proud of my team for helping me put it together. And I'm proud of you for taking action in your life for you to improve your situation. I look forward to your success stories. I look forward to seeing you somewhere in the world. And I look forward to talking to you at some point in time. Welcome to the Anton J Global family.
Okay. First thing off, I want to say that sure is a kinder, gentler you. I'm just kidding. but that's what I love about that piece. It's just Jason, and a little bonus piece in that piece is that porn stash. Right? Feeling that stash. How about y'all? Put in the comments. Do you like it? Should he bring it back? This is a great look too, though.
Thank you.
Stolen from Gerald Marigo's.
I've been like this most of my career. So yeah.
I'm kidding. Yeah. So what are your hopes this round for people? And I want you to touch on what it feels like, because I know when you know what you poured into something, you know that if they'll only trust, it can change, it will change their life. Yeah. That person, those people, what do you think is the holdup? What is it that makes people pour all their assets or all their resources into something that is a low yield investment, and then there's a great opportunity right in front of them, but still they cannot pull the trigger? What is it?
It's fear of disappointment. It's fear of there's a lot of it, because I put myself in the same shoes. As I said in that video, I've dumped $1 million into improving, and some of that $1 million was really well spent and helped me get to the place where I had a multi-million-dollar exit from my companies, right? But some of it was an absolute waste of time, which there's also a value in, right? The value of knowing what not to do. And so as you look at, how this course has developed to a point now where it's being, I can't mention the university yet, but it's being accredited by a major university. It's being accredited by the U.S. military. It's going to be available in the GI Bill, which is, these are huge things. Like this is not something that, when you see courses on the internet, from Tom, Dick, or Harry, it's like they're doing marketing. And all I can say is that I understand when somebody's looking at a course to go, it's just going to be fluff and bullshit, because 80% of the things that I did were,
And not just that. What about the person? You know how we all see ourselves differently than we really are. So just the name of your company alone might make the small business owner, that entrepreneur that's working out of the guest room in their home, building something, that just Anton J Global means that I'm too small for this. Yeah. They don't work with people this size. What number of employees, or do what's the business model look like that works best with this program?
Yeah. Anybody thinking about it, look, if you work in a business and you're trying to improve your position in the business as an employee, right? If you know the principles by which that business should be running, you can add a lot of value and get a raise or to attach yourself to the growth of that company monetarily. If you're thinking about starting a business, then you want to start out with the right principles. If you're just started and you're a solopreneur, or you've been in business as a solopreneur for a lot of years, there's a massive multiple between being a solopreneur and having your first employee, a massive multiple of earnings and cash that you put in your pocket, right? So this course will help you bridge that gap. if you're in business and you've got 5-10 employees and you've been in business for a year or two, you're doing $1 million or more. These are the things that you've been looking for to apply to your business for that leverage. For people that have a little bit bigger business and they need help, then you move beyond that course to where my team comes in and actually puts our hands on your business. And so we have the gamut covered for people that want to change their life through this independent access to capital, right? It's the one thing that makes a difference between us and every dictatorial socialist, communist country out there. You have the ability in this country to lay your hands on committing to bridging a gap for somebody, right? Finding a need and then filling that need and doing it better than other people for you to be able to improve your life financially. And there is a formula for that to be able to happen. And that's what this course is.
And it's true. And I'll say this. For those of you who know Jason, and this is for people who might be on the fence or whatever your pushback is, let's say, just being in your inner circle, I'm speaking personally, I've learned so much that has helped take me so many places, and I didn't even realize it was doing it until I got there, which is a great thing because I didn't scare or talk myself out of it. But such easy to apply nuggets that it's the kind of thing, I guess it's the proverbial light bulb thing. Because I remember when you told me, look, way back, you said, Lauren, you only need 3 things to be successful in anything. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And you said, number 1, find out what people need. Number 2, go out and get it.
Yep.
Number 3, bring it back and give it to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that makes sense. And started doing it. But another thing that's inside this program, and I don't even know if they describe it, you probably won't see it pop up on a screen or part of the, PDF or whatever the paperwork is, but something inside of there, a spirit inside there, and all the connections you have with the fellow people taking, because I was in your beta testing, and you start changing all the other versions of yourself too, not just while they're doing the business part. Somehow you feel so comfortable suddenly, so much more empowered suddenly. I can do this suddenly, that other things start changing and you didn't even know they were a part of the deal. So I'll put that in there. So tell people, where's the best place to go to get more information so they can start the due diligence process of maybe finding a home inside of this program.
Yeah, AntonJae.com is the best place to go. You can find the growth course there. Anybody that actually decides they want to pull the trigger, it's a $5,000 course. But if you are watching Lauren's show and you put in the code Action Taker on checkout, it'll be half price. It'll be $24.97. But yep, $2,497.
Wait a minute.
Because I want to reward people that take action. Look, at the end of the day,
That's less than the old version.
What's that?
That's less than the crappy version. I mean, old version.
Here's how I've been saying it, right? Because you're not wrong. It's the poorly produced version. The content was amazing, but
the content was amazing, right? I was there. So
yeah, it's a little bit better because that's my commitment. I'm not in this for money. I'm in this for the impact that it makes for people. And now you start to listen to the people that are around us, the people that have grown, the influencers and the people that we hang out with in this inner circle, in the Misfit Nation that have taken it. They're all doing better.
Yeah.
Right. And their teaching has mirrored the teaching that they got from my course. And that's what I'm after. Like the principles, all I want to do, and I get goosebumps when I think about it, all I want to do is level the playing field. Right. I want to level the playing field. And for people that have the desire to actually do the work and have the competence to be able to do it, then here's the secret. Like, here's how you do it step by step by step.
Yeah.
It's properly sequencing the knowledge that is out there in 1 million megabytes or whatever the hell it is. I'm not a computer guy, but it's taking it. All I've done is take it and say, okay, I'm a guy that didn't graduate from high school. I'm a guy that was dealing drugs. I'm a guy that beat people up for a living, that had all of that stuff in my background that said, you know what? this isn't working. The outcome that I have right now is not the outcome that I want. And so I need to find people that are where I am and model what they do. And that's what I did. After my third bankruptcy, I dug in and became humble and asked everybody while I was traveling the world with Tony Robbins as a speaker for him. I would tell people, I would literally take people's trash out that owned a business that I could sit down with my failure notebook and say, what would you have done in this situation? Right? It's full of their knowledge, right? There's 80% of the stuff that you've probably heard before, but it's properly sequenced, which is magic. And then over a decade of my learning and application, that's the other 20%. It's, anyway, I didn't expect to turn this into a promotion. No. Thank you for asking.
No, but it's like this. I just feel like the world we live in today, for anyone who has something they want to grow and build, something for generational wealth, something that is missing to fill a niche, you could be. Why can't you be that one? But I will say this, the truth, in order to know the value that is innately and just in my opinion, obvious within working with you in any capacity, it is because I know it to be true. I know the value. I have no problem. No issue there. But for those who do out there, I want you to know a couple things. Make sure you know the difference between choice and decision. Choice are those forks in the roads, but decision is going to dictate which one of those forks, which one of those roads you actually move on. So, and here's the other part, people, just like the bell, that's what it's all about. Listen, the truth is the only thing that never changes in the universe, and it never changes on us. And you only need to hear the truth once because of that. So if you hear any truth in here, something is going, I wonder, then follow it and see. No one's going to put a gun to your head and say, do this or else. The choice to be whatever you are going to be was made by your soul before you came here. It said what you would do and how you would do it. So it's up to you to honor that covenant. So Jason, anything you want to say as we get out of here? We're a couple of minutes over, but that's okay. So like a Jerry Springer final thought.
We're in a really great time to be alive. And I want people to understand, switch the channel if you believe anything otherwise, right? I mean, your value to other people is not dumping negative shit on them all the time. Your job is to breathe life into people, and your life will change from there. Joy exists only in service of other people. That's the only time you can feel it. If you're in selfishness, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. So choose joy by choosing service of other people.
There you go. So listen, you guys, thank you so much, Jason. Thank you. As always, a great pleasure and
always
honor.
Great to see you, brother. I love you and love Brian, and you guys are family to me. And I'm so proud of you. I said it at the beginning. I'll say it at the end. I am absolutely loving watching your rise, brother. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And ditto. And for you guys, listen, the weekend is upon us, but they're just 2 more days in a circle of 7. Treat every moment like a first, because it is your first. And I want you to understand this. Just remember, faith is a place. I just recently put that on my hard drive. Just crawl through the tunnel of trust. Trust your instincts, and you'll stand up in a place known as faith. Take that with you. Have the best weekend ever. And I look forward to meeting all of you Monday morning, God willing, out on the front porch for our next episode of Bathrobe Moments. Thanks, Jason. Tell Emily we said hello.
Will do. Bye, love you, brother.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul.